Not being there for your pet's final moments is selfish. You have a pet for a small part of your life, and meanwhile your pet has you for all their lives. Imagine you're on your deathbed and the person closest to you doesn't even visit you for the emotional trauma, and that's why they don't want to be there. That's kind of fucked up, Imo. Now imagine that with animals. Yeah, I understand it's painful to witness your pet getting put down, but unless you're a kid, I think there really isn't a good excuse to not be there. That animal is in its final moments and is scared in being in a foreign environment already. Vets ask if you want to step out as courtesy and will never force you to be there out of respect, but just put a human loved one in the place of that animal and ask if you'd feel the same stepping out. Think human euthanasia, not like a code blue. I don't think forcing people to be there is any better, because if you're not ready then it turns into trauma, but instead I'm hoping I can change minds who are on the fence, since everyone will experience sadness and be emotional after a passing, even if you step out of the room. You unconsciously accepted the fact that one day your pet will die when you got it. I just think people have a more selfish mindset with the idea of not wanting to be there for their pet, since they worry about that being their final moments with the animal. No one wants to see their animal die, but nothing can avoid death, and owners understand that, but it's the owners who stay with their animal to help comfort them and guide them in their final moments that I respect much more than someone who just doesn't want to be there cause they don't want to cry. It's better they die peacefully knowing their owner is by their side than scared, alone and wondering where you are for its final moments. Everyone hurts when their animal dies, but witnessing their death doesn't take away from all the happy and joyful memories you had with them. If you really don't want to be there, the least you can do, Imo, without feeling that regret of not being there, is being there with your pet until they put them under anesthesia in preparation for the final dose. Then before they administer it you can leave, but at least the final thing the pet saw was you. Source: I work for a vet clinic and I've noticed animals will sometimes try to look around for their owners before they are given anesthesia. I don't want people to feel forced to be there because I know I can appear as selfish for wanting everyone to be there, but my POV is that death of a pet is the last chapter in their lives and everyone hurts when their pet dies, and only avoiding it makes it appear that you care more about your own emotions than your animal's final ones. Death is unavoidable, and I believe that people should do everything in the power to help their loved ones leave as peacefully as possible. My dog died unexpectedly while recovering from surgery at the vets. God damn it, I wish I could have been there for him. My cat died yesterday and I stayed with him till his body was cold. It was the bare minimum I could do for him to stay when he took his last breath. He did so much for my whole family. I knew him my whole life and I'm suffering so horrible. I am so unbelievable grateful that I had the chance to know someone so gentle, beautiful, and just perfect. I will miss him very much, but he's in a better place now. I'm having my dog put down next Sunday, so I'll keep this in mind. Yeah, my dog is 14, has various ailments, and I am dreading the day when it has to end for him. Part of me hopes he just goes in his sleep. B/C making the drive to the vet will be absolutely horrible. B/C he loves going to the vet. Knowing I'm taking him there for that will be just awful, but I'll be in the room. Well, we took our dog to a checkup and we had to stay in the car, and they said that holds true if a pet has to be put down. Stupid COVID. I work for a vet clinic and I've noticed animals will sometimes try to look around for their owners before they are given anesthesia. You allow the owners inside during COVID? Mine didn't when I had to put my dog down. We were with our 16-year-old pup when she was put down 2 weeks ago. Absolutely the hardest thing we've had to do. She was in kidney failure. I feel a little better knowing that her last memory on earth is us telling her how much we loved her. Man, we miss her. I remember one of the first family cats I ever lived with was 14 when she passed away. She had cancer and I gradually witnessed it spread throughout her body. As a young kid I had to hold up the bowl for her to eat as it was too painful for her. I was actually sick the day she was euthanized and off from school as a young kid. She was awfully skinny and hissing at everyone around her, such a sweet cat reduced to such a state. It was really sad for my mother and I to witness someone we've been with for a portion of our lives die. When people post things like this on Reddit, where's it to be a competition on who's more emotionally attached or who's more morally inclined with their loved ones? It's really insensitive and lacking empathy on part of what people decide to do. As a child, I'm sure my mother didn't want to put so much on my mind as watching an animal die, and she couldn't stand to watch her die. Please don't be judgmental to how others treat the deaths of pets, because it's different for everybody. I don't want anybody to tell me not being there for my cat is selfish, as it's not something as simple as that. I really did love her. I still feel your energy, mama. Red heart. Pronounced mama. I work for a vet clinic, and I've noticed animals will sometimes try to look around for their owners before they are given anesthesia. I've been present for countless euthanasias and never seen this happen. I personally think this sentiment is just employees who are upset about the owner not being present projecting their own feelings onto the animal. To be frank, I'm getting really sick of this judgmental attitude from fellow veterinary professionals. Veterinary medicine isn't just about animals. A huge component of this job is working with their owners and having empathy for people, something this sentiment is devoid of. Quit making people feel bad for not being able to handle the being present. Deciding to euthanize is frequently a difficult decision as it is. Besides, an owner who is falling to pieces about their animal's death isn't doing their pet any favors by staying in the room. At best, the animal is unbothered, but at worst the owner's presence is just more stressful to the animal because they can tell their owner is upset. That's not peaceful or comforting. If an owner wants to stay in the room, great. I'm always there for mine because I want to be there and I can handle it. If an owner doesn't feel that they can be there, I consider it an honor and a privilege to be able to comfort their animal for them as they pass. Their animal will not be afraid or alone. Oh, and comparing it to a human on their deathbed is silly because your pet does not know what euthanasia is or that they're about to die.